Welcome back to Bible Basics. In this edition, we're going to be talking about one of the simplest but most important keys for responsible biblical interpretation: context. So context is just the stuff that goes around something you're trying to understand. Without context, it can be really hard to understand what the Bible, or even another human being, is actually saying. Chances are that you've had somebody misinterpret something you said. Maybe they took it in a way you never intended it, or they twisted it into something very different than what you had in mind. But the chances are that you described what they did by saying that they were taking your words out of context. A lot of misinterpretations of the Bible happen for exactly the same reason, because something in the Bible was taken out of context. So here's the most important principle for responsible biblical interpretation: context reveals meaning. If I said, "That was wicked," you might assume I was saying something was morally evil, but there's another option, isn't there? Some people use the word wicked to mean that something was, it was awesome, it was exciting. Now, I'll grant you, that's kind of a strange linguistic development, and it probably says something pretty disturbing about our culture. But the fact is that if a surfer says she rode a wicked barrel, she's not thinking about the moral connotations of the word. She just meant it was awesome. So, if somebody says that was wicked, we have two very different possible meanings. It was really, really bad, or it was really, really good. How do we know which one they mean? Well, without context, we might not know, but chances are that a little context will make it pretty clear. If someone says, "That was wicked, and so I did maketh the sign of the cross to ward off the devil," they probably aren't saying something was really awesome. If someone says, "That was wicked, she totally launched a 360 out of that barrel, dude," well, it's probably not a moral evaluation. Context reveals meaning. Honestly, I think about 99% of the misinterpretations of the Bible happen because people forget that simple principle, and they end up trying to interpret a part of the Bible without enough context. If we just read even a little bit more of the stuff that comes before and after a particular passage, we're dramatically less likely to misunderstand it. Now, context is actually more than just the words that come before and after a particular passage. Context includes everything that surrounds a passage. So context also includes characteristics of the author or the speaker. I mean, if you know you're listening to a surfer, then you might know what they mean by wicked even without any of that 360 barrel business. Context also includes historical circumstances. If you see the word wicked in a 15th century manuscript, you're not going to think it means awesome because that's not how the word was used back then. The point is that all of the circumstances, linguistic, cultural, historical, that surround a particular statement in the Bible, they provide important context for understanding the meaning of that statement. That's just basic common sense. So let's make sure that common sense is a common practice as we read God's Word.